Recording in progress.
What is going on, everybody?
What's up, guys?
Welcome. Seeing some familiar faces. Grandma, Karas, Joey. What's going on, Joey? Doc, welcome in. Brian Lambert. What's going on, everyone?
How's it going?
Hey, what's up, bud?
Great. We're trying to reduce the threat of future fires and improve native plant.
I'm gonna mute Martin. There we go.
Got
Got the fire news going on. He must live in California.
Doc, welcome in. Right. We'll give it to Lambert as people are still filtering in here.
How's it going?
There's the
Hey,
fire
what's up,
somewhere in Utah in a coal
The
mine.
threat of future fires and improve native plant.
I'm gonna mute Martin. There
I'm
we
in
go.
Utah. That's why I know that.
Got the fire news going on. He must live in California. I live in California, and there's a fire like every weekend.
Doc, welcome in.
If you guys have any questions,
people still filtering in.
write it down on
There's
Zoom,
the
Hey,
fire
what's up, bud?
somewhere in
or just
Utah
raise your hand.
in a
To
coal
reduce the
mine.
threat
Get
of future
through.
fires.
Honestly, this call shouldn't take too long. I'm gonna mute Martin. 45
I'm in
minutes to an
Utah.
hour.
That's why I know that.
Got the fire news going on. He must live in California. I live in California, and there's a fire like every weekend.
Doc, welcome in. What's up, Vito? Appreciate you.
If you guys have any questions,
people still filtering in.
write it down on
There's the
Hey,
fire
what's up, bud?
somewhere in
or just
Utah
raise
Looks
your
like
hand.
in a
we
coal
just
mine.
slowed down on the
Honestly, this call shouldn't take too long.
I'm gonna
mute
participants
Martin.
entry.
I'm in
So we'll go ahead
Utah.
and
That's
get
why
things
I know
started.
that.
Got the fire
Welcome,
news
everybody.
going
This
on.
is
He
our
must live in California.
third
I live
official,
in California, and there's a fire like every
ambassador.
weekend.
Welcome in. What's up, Vito?
If you guys have any questions,
people still filtering in. Today,
There's the
Hey,
fire
what's up,
somewhere
bud?
in
or just
Utah
raise your
looks like
hand.
in a
we
coal
slowed
mine.
down on the
Honestly, this call shouldn't take too long.
participants entry.
I'm in
So
Utah. That's why I know
we
that.
do
Got the fire news
questions. This is
going
our
on. He must live in
third
California. I live in California, and there's a fire like every weekend. If you guys have any questions,
and yeah, we'll just go from there. A lot of updates, a lot of good stuff in the works, guys. It's been an exciting couple of weeks, to say the least. We are very close to receiving our test packs. So I spoke with the manufacturer again, and we are on our designated timeline to receive test packs by mid-October, with possibility of actually receiving those early. So if we do receive those early, we'll give everybody heads up on those. Another thing that we are receiving early are our playmats. So playmats, I just got the word from our manufacturer that playmats are ready and they are shipping out very soon. We should have playmats in hand by next week. So we'll make a post about that, allocation, how you can purchase. For the most part, it's going to be open to everybody. There are allocated numbers to some of the tiers that have allocated percentages tied to their ambassador level. So the 25,000 and up have guaranteed percentages just tied into the package that they purchased. But besides that, it'll be open for purchase on the website. So great news on both fronts on that. Kind of along the same lines, diving right into the next, most important question is gameplay testing. As you guys know, we sent out an email as well as Facebook posts, Instagram posts about our play testers. Right now, we are in the final stages of bringing on our TTS manager, who will be overseeing the play testing phase, onboarding selected play testers, and working with Shane, myself, and the rest of the team to implement feedback and updates, things like that. So we should be getting some news here in the next couple of days on that manager, and then from there we should have at least a preliminary reach out to some of the selected individuals for playtesting, just to kind of get the ball rolling on that, setting expectations, and then we should hit the ground running in about a week and a half. So that's the gameplay testing phase. Again, all of that coincides with our initial roadmap, what you guys see on Discord, what we've been talking about from day one. Our timeline is still in play with, sending to the printer by the end of October. Expectation to run Kickstarter is looking like it's going to be closer to the end of December, just to give us enough time to implement all the changes that are needed. I'm sure, everybody's going to appreciate, a little bit of additional time focused on the gameplay aspect, make sure that we have all of the balance of power worked out, and all the nuances to the gameplay. So it's looking closer to the end of December, which is still within our time frame that we presented in our roadmap. And then again, expectation for delivery would be the Q1, looking January, early February. Moving on to the next update is cons. We are planning on coming to Denver with the tight deadline that we do have with a majority of the team, i.e. playtesting and the artists, and finishing up putting final touches on card arts and box arts, things like that. We will not be coming with the full team, but Shane and myself will be showing up in Denver, and we plan on bringing a good amount of our reserve packs that we have available from phase one, our sample packs, and then with the hopes of test packs arriving hopefully early, we might have those to bring as well. What that's going to look like is we will possibly set up a table with one of the stream groups. And if, again, we have the play mats, if we do get the test packs in, we'll have enough cards to kind of run through simulated gameplay, and just kind of we'll be set up there for a good portion of the time for that, as well as doing giveaways with our sample packs and test packs. We do have a good amount of loose promos as well from our initial print run. So that's just kind of what that phase is going to look like. The majority of the time is going to be spent with different streamers, different stream groups, and just kind of jumping on stream, talking about obviously the progression of the game, and Kickstarter coming very soon, and basically everything that we've been touching upon the last couple months. Let me look at my notes. Excuse me 1 second. I'm going to make sure. Next update that we have is regarding grading. We have started the submission process for 2 grading companies. So one of them is DSG, the other one is CGC. We are still working on PSA and BGS. With that being said, a lot of the prerequisites for PSA and BGS is that there is sort of like a full set. There's obviously we have a roadmap and we have structure and everything like that, but they do most of the time require that first set to be printed, and just so they understand that it's not just a one and done scenario, that they're going to take the time to catalog and make sure that their team is prepared. So that process is going to be a little bit longer to get PSA and BGS on board. We have full plans to do so. It just may take a little bit longer, but again, DSG is going to more than likely be first up to bat with being ready to accept submissions. With CGC, we just started that. We did our submission, and we're starting that paperwork process, which should yield results in about a week or so. So we should have a good update for you guys in a couple of weeks as well. Do we have any questions on anything that we've touched upon so far? I know there's a lot, kind of firing in it, firing from it from all angles there. But any questions thus far? Let me go through anything coming through the chat, Shane.
No, nothing that I answered.
Okay. Yeah, we have preliminary talks with AGS. It just we haven't started that process yet. So AGS, we have talked about internally as a team. but we are looking forward to moving in that direction as well. Again, it's whatever the community feels is appropriate for their collection. That's why we're not doing a specific grading company and just say we're tied down to them. It's all encompassing. Everybody has their preferences, so we are looking at all avenues for grading. I can get you into our AGS stock. Appreciate that. Is there a specific date when playtesting will start and end, and expected time spent per day? So we are working out the specific details of requirements that we're going to have for selected individuals. The preliminary questionnaire that we sent out was to kind of start to filter out and kind of look for specific candidates. Obviously, hiring a manager, we're looking, when we were looking for our manager, 20 to 40 hours a week. So we'll have a full-time dedicated individual in that role that's going to be overseeing that entire process, with the hopes and expectations that, a couple of other individuals from the community will have, a similar time availability. Not that that's expected. I guess we can talk about it broadly here because most of you have signed up. It is not a directly compensated position. It is going to be compensated via play testing cards and things like that. We will have additional stuff lined out for play testers, but just so we're that there's not any false expectations that this position or these positions that will be filled are at this time going to be like a paid slot. It's just, again, given our position and being a startup company, the cash flow and capital is important, just as important as we continue to grow the game. But that's, just wanted to throw that out there into the universe in case there were any expectations otherwise. I think with that being said, I'm going to hand it over to Shane to give you all an update on NFTs.
Okay, so the NFTs, for those of you that are already an ambassador, it's pretty cool. We're actually going to be doing a kind of thank you for backing us for everybody coming to today. We're actually going to be giving you guys a free NFT that's going to be airdropped by next Friday. This is not going to be given to anybody else. It's not going to be here moving forward. It's just a quick shout out to the early ambassadors there. We know that this is going to be a nice lengthy process, especially for if you guys have seen the NFT chat in our Discord. A lot of people don't know anything about NFTs. So my team is very excited to teach everybody about, wallets and mail drops, airdrops. Yep. Yeah, thank you. Airdropping their NFTs, how to keep it safe. However, we have videos. We have a team dedicated towards this. So we are ready to drop this, and it will be by next Friday.
Yeah. So this is, so just to clarify, I think you did say this, but so it will be for tiers that are in that realm of the NFT space. Yeah, so it would be like tier 2 and above that already have the NFT process, that have already selected that's what that's what they're interested in. That's what that's going towards. So if you did, we are the deadline for that will be this coming Friday. So what's that date? So that would be Friday the 30th. So if you did want to change or anything like that, again, that's not the intent of this, but if that was something that you're interested in, that special drop outside of what's already in the package will be cut off by Friday the 30th.
So let me.
So this is an additional NFT?
There's some more question here.
Say that again.
So essentially, if you're at what?
Chris, I think that was Chris that said that.
Yeah. So is this an additional NFT?
Yes. Yep.
So
this is not part of. Yeah. This won't be part of the delayed. The black hole reveal. So the black hole reveal will still occur at a date in the future prior to Kickstarter. This NFT is, again, it's outside of the program. There's no PFP attached to it. It is just it is an NFT that doesn't have, there's no discounts or anything like that yet, or possibly. It is an NFT, as Shane put it, as a kind of a thank you for everyone that was in those.
All right, thank you.
Drop IO accounts. Drop IO accounts.
Yeah, I mean, anything with a virtual wallet's not going to be an issue.
Yeah. So this is so in case anybody didn't know, this is a Ethereum. It is an Ethereum backed NFT.
I'm going to go this first.
There we go. I had to mute Alex. Okay. So I got a couple of messages here. If you become an ambassador level, you're not missing out on any NFTs, guys. You're still going to get the ambassador level NFT if you're thinking about becoming an ambassador. And whatever package you get, you're still going to get these rates.
Yeah.
This is essentially just an extra NFT. It's going to be very limited to the close to 60 ambassadors that have already backed us already. So it's just a little thank you that we can do for them for just backing us a little bit early. But regardless, you're still going to get your ambassador package for those who haven't backed us right now. A couple of more updates on that.
That NFT drop. That NFT drop is going to happen this coming Friday, so the 30th. We'll start dropping those NFTs by the 30th. Nerds versus Geek. There we go. Great comment there in the chat. Can I buy glasses? Am I broken? Joey, what are you partying too hard out there?
Thanks for writing in there for that too. Kind of going into that ambassadorship, if this is your first time, people wanted to see essentially how the cards got redeemed. Now, the numbered hits on the actual cards in the collector's box, when they do come out, there are going to be numbered hits. So this is essentially what they're going to look like for those of you who haven't seen this before. It's still the same exact process. We're able to actually follow this close to the T. There's going to be a custom QR code and a custom serialized number that's going to be verified in the database. It's going to have to put the serial number, the card number, your name, email, ETH wallet, and then you're going to have to upload a timestamp picture of you, a timestamp, and the back of the card to actually prove that you have it in your hand. Once it actually is there, we'll then go ahead and get with you and airdrop it to the wallet of your choosing.
So with that being said, we will have, so that is in relation to the NFTs that will be in the packs. Right. Not relation to the NFTs that we're dropping on Friday the 30th. So with that being said, the test packs will have 25 NFTs. So there's five hollow hits that are going to have 5 NFTs. So 1 through 5 NFTs in the test packs. So with that being said, the app is still in development. But the QR codes, the serial numbers, everything is going to be printed just like will print for the main print run. And once that app is fully developed and testable, you guys will be able to redeem it if you so choose to, right? So that's some people want to keep it unredeemed, some people want to redeem it. So there will be the option to test out that redemption process that we can do. Once those cards are hit in the test packs and and the app is fully developed for launch. I didn't.
The test packs. Essentially, we haven't decided yet. I know we're going to be giving them out to ambassadors and higher level ambassadors and streamers and packages like that.
Yeah. So all ambassadors will receive. All ambassadors will receive test packs. It will be based and allocated based on the level backed, but everybody who has backed the project through and through from 120 all the way up to 50,000 pledge will be receiving test packs. And then the remaining allocation, so we're thinking roughly about 1,000 of those will be allocated to ambassadors. Again, kind of that tiered approach, just along with the level backed for distribution. And then the remaining test packs we're going to have for, we're going to be doing a lot of streams, live giveaway streams, right? Nothing, these are all going to be given away just like before with the sample packs. So we'll be doing personal giveaways. We'll be doing giveaways throughout for all different Discord tiers, whether you're, in the general Discord chat, if you're in the ambassador level, if you're in the Void, Spacecom, there's going to be tons of giveaways over the next few weeks, not only with test packs, sample packs, and things like that. So that's how that's going to, broadly look once those are received and ultimately distributed. Just going through the chat.
So,
Making
Ryan,
space waifu. Joey, that's a good question. I will say currently in this set, there is no, quote unquote waifu. But that's not to say that expansion packs and things like that won't take that into consideration. But Joey, I hope that doesn't change your view on Interstellar. But yeah, there's no designated waifu in this. There are Anthony. There are 2,000 test packs made. They're going to be different than the sample pack. So we do have Marissa. That is correct, Kentucky. We have 2,000 sample packs. So we have sample packs for 7,000, test packs are 2,000, but there are going to be 3 cards per pack in this round. It's a little bit different allocation than last time, right? So in the samples, we had 17 hollow, dimensional rares and space rares, and then only 3 non-hollow. In this set, we have 10 designated card arts for non-hollows, our commons and uncommons, and 5 selected card arts for the prism rare, space rare, and dimensional rares. So how it's going to look is there's going to be 2 non-hollows and 1 hollow per pack. If you did get a numbered card or an NFT hit, that is going to be in the middle slot. So when you open up your pack, there's going to be a non-hollow and a non-hollow on the front, non-hollow on the back, and that is to protect the QR code. And we're going to be doing a similar packaging style for the main print run as well. And what that's going to look like, whatever that card trick is, whatever your standard hollow hit on the back would potentially be, the NFT hit, if you did end up hitting one, would be in the slot before. So it's always going to protect that QR code for breakers and personal rips, things like that, if you guys are doing that live with your communities. So just a heads up on that. Oh, Joey says, my heart is broken. I'm so sorry, Joey. I think TTS, yes, was mentioned earlier. Playing it sounds like games getting TTS. Yes, that is correct. So we are working with our, we're currently finalizing the contract with our manager, our potential TTS manager that we're bringing on. They will be helping us fully develop and set up TTS and start that phase of gameplay. Joey, looks like you got a question. You're on mute. Are you there?
I think your audio.
Yeah, I can't hear you. Nope. Okay.
Try
All right. So if I get tier 2, do you also get tier 1 rewards? So to answer Jock's question really quick, since I just read it out, so it is not in addition to. So if you get tier 1 and you want to upgrade to tier 2, we would just send you a separate payment link for the difference, and then you would be upgraded to tier 2. So you'd be receiving tier 2 package rewards.
Question for the Kickstarter now drop. Do you have plans on dropping just tiers or individual boxes as add-ons as well? I had a couple people ask me as well.
Yep, so there will be an option for individual add-ons as well. Yeah, so what that's going to look like, it's going to be theme decks. You can add on individual booster boxes, and any unlocked rewards to add on additional things like that.
So for an ambassador that we can't add on extra booster boxes, if the ambassador wanted to invest in the Kickstarter to grab extra booster boxes, that would be the way to get extra booster boxes for said tier, correct?
Correct. But yeah, that is correct. But I do want to emphasize that whatever tier or whatever like dollar amount tier, because the tiers aren't going to be the same, right? So whatever dollar amount that you're backing in the ambassador program, the Kickstarter version of that tier will not exceed the discounts you all receive.
Oh yeah, 100%.
Yeah, in this program. I just wanted to make sure that was clear. But yes, you can add additional boxes through the Kickstarter as well.
Gotcha. Thank you.
Yep. Scrolling down, give me 1 second. Okay, I think we're all caught up on questions for the time. If anybody does have a question, now is the time. We're about 30 minutes into the presentation. So feel free to drop them in the chat or raise a hand or just come off mute. So for now, if there's no additional questions for anybody that is new, I wanted to go through the tier and the update on the tiers.
Hi, Chad. Hi, Chad.
Hi, Joey.
The famous streamers here, guys. I promise you.
Joey, we can hear you.
They're talking about me, bro.
No, I did have one question before Kentucky Hellhound emojis really makes me laugh. So for the ambassador program, I had somebody ask, so you can't add on through the ambassador program, right? It would just have to be through Kickstarter.
Correct. Yeah. So the ambassador program tiers are set. Again, part of that is due to the fact that for fairness purposes, right, in this early phase, and also for our kind of like our forecasting tool, right? So as these tiers are set and available allocation for just these specific tiers, that's the only reason why we're keeping it as such. And then, yeah.
Sounds good. Thank you so much.
Yep.
When are we going to get more story reveals and stuff like that? Isn't there like a comic book or something coming?
So we will start dropping. So again, as the cards start to release, we will start to, as we've been doing like the last 2 weeks, we're going to start releasing more of the story that coincides with the cards that are being released. So as the card drops correlate to the actual storyline, more of the storyline will be released in that section in Discord and on our social media accounts.
All right, cool.
Yep. Great question. Any chance ambassador Kickstarter promos to drum up some exclusivity? That's a great question. Ambassadors, now it wasn't explicitly stated, but we are talking about doing an ambassador exclusive promo that will be delivered. It will be delivered post Kickstarter, but we do plan on dropping an ambassador specific promo for everybody who backed us early, right? Same thing with with the Kickstarter exclusive promos, but this is again for that early backer. So we do plan on dropping those. Discord. Bob Laser promo. There we go. Or wait, who said Kentucky? Was that you that was saying Lob Bazaar?
Yeah, that'd be good.
Yeah, Lob Bazaar. Yeah, we could do something like that. What's that, Galaxy?
Oh, that was Noble. I was saying that'd be cool. That'd be awesome.
Sweet, yeah. All right, so and then jumping into the ambassador tiers, as I'm sure some of you kind of checking it out, seeing the progress of the project. Right now, our top 2 tiers have been sold out since our last meeting, and then as we've got this updated, I think there's a couple more purchases that actually came in this week. So we continuously keep this updated, so you guys can kind of see where the project's at. With that being said, we do fully expect the 5 and 10 to be closing out here shortly, as we've been in talks with a lot of stream groups and individuals that are looking to purchase those tiers. So if you are planning on doing that, we are approaching our deadline that we'll be closing the ambassador program prior to Kickstarter. So that's going to be at least a week or two prior to Kickstarter launch. This will be closing. So there's still some time to kind of think about if you haven't backed the project yet, if you're interested in backing, or you're just waiting for the right time. Just so you guys are aware, we're going to close that window roughly about a week or two before Kickstarter actually launches. But that is that. Does anybody have any specific questions on the actual tiers themselves? I don't know how many new people we have in the room. You can kind of just drop a yay or nay if you guys want to run through the different tier options and what that looks like, or we can open up the floor for additional questions as well.
Can you hear me, Aaron?
Yep, I can hear you.
Hey, so on the box topper, I know that the tier 1s are only getting those. What are those going to be? Like a special card? I knew that you touched on it in the beginning, but it's not that big of a deal. Just kind of curiosity.
So I don't know if I want to release that information yet. So our team, that was actually was one of our big internal achievements this week and last week through this week, is kind of nailing down what we're going to do for those. So we're finalizing some of the artwork, but it's unique, and there's a surprise. I don't want to say too much.
I'm excited. I can see the smile. I can see the excitement. I'm really excited. So that's all.
Okay.
Thank you.
Yeah, I'm sure we'll say something prior to, but yeah, just because it is kind of still fresh, I just want to give the team time in case anything changes or anything like that. But yeah.
And then on the playmat, on the playmat, you mentioned 25% of the higher tiers are going to have, what was that, access to 25% of the inventory, or they get 25% off?
No, so if you look at the here, let me present my screen really quick. Let me know if everyone can see my screen.
Yeah.
Okay. So in tier 7 and above, so the $25,000 and $50,000 package, if you look here, there's an allocated print run that they're guaranteed at that tier. So again, this is along the lines of a partnership, any sort of like distributor level partnership. So they have an allocation that they're guaranteed based on this tier that was back. So it's not, yeah. So it's not like we're directly favorite, playing, yeah. Sorry, we're not doing that for that. It's just there's a guaranteed allocation associated with that tier that was back.
Okay.
Yeah. Yep. Absolutely. Great question.
Yeah, the box toppers will be on the players' boxes only.
Yes.
And then as far as the tiers go, I did put it in the Zoom chat if you did want to check that out. Some exciting news. The custom tier, even though it's not on there, there's only one package available. We have 2 people that are currently interested in it, but just like the rest of the tiers, it's first come, first serve. There really isn't any sort of favoritism. It's whoever wants to back us early, they get that tier, they get it promised. And a couple of the big backers are in this call. I won't call them out there so they get flooded with DMs like how they make something. I don't know, just playing. But yeah, so it's still very exciting. We got the 2 people on the custom tiers. We did have a nice tier 5 purchase today. So and as well as obviously the other backings. I mean, Aaron wanted to do something nice for all the early ambassadors, and that's where the NFT came out. So we're really excited to get that launched and given to you guys by next Friday.
Yeah. And then just a little bit more of on a timeline for the other ones. I think Joey had a comment on the custom. So timeline wise, what we're looking at, so we're wrapping up the actual card arts and box, theme decks and boxes currently with the artists. Once we finalize those and we're fully into play testing phase, the artists are going to be freed up. So if you did have that tier that had a custom NFT, we're thinking that that's going to be rolling out closer to the end of October, when we'll start to do those one-on-ones. If you had a tier that had a custom NFT, where you can sit down with the artist that you would like to sit down with to create and develop those NFTs.
Yeah, the custom NFTs are going to be cool.
Yeah. Only one. Okay. Any other last minute questions? We have at least 20 minutes allocated, additional 20 minutes more for the meeting. If anybody had any additional questions, concerns, requests, anything like that. I know we covered a lot, but yeah. Sorry, you said someone did purchase. No, Alex, not. No, we're in the talks with two individuals / groups right now. So there are 2 people that are looking at that package currently. Grandma is on the chat.
Hey guys, yeah, so just a quick question. I know you had that first initial round of like gameplay videos. It seemed like you had a couple of outsiders that were unfamiliar with the game. Do you plan to do something similar again to help create more brand awareness or more game awareness with that pre-Kickstarter?
Yes, so our team is actually developing a more clean version. So we're doing a digital version with voiceover. So the team on the back end right now is currently working on adding all the cards that we currently have with samples and the test cards, as well as additional cards that we're going to be starting to reveal. That we're going to be doing a digital version. We're going to be doing smaller segments that talk about starting off the game, how to build your deck, where the designated areas are. So there's going to be shorter clips, and then there's going to be an all-inclusive digital version with a voiceover. It's going to be a little bit more clean, where you can pick and choose which clip you would like to check out. If there's a specific question you had on actual attacks, there's going to be a video dedicated to just the attacking phase and what a full turn looks like. So we're currently working on digital versions of that to post to socials. But we do plan on doing live, kind of AMA style walkthroughs as well. Yes.
Awesome. Thank you.
Yep. I forgot these test cards, different. Justin, 14 of them are new card arts. All of them are different. Even so, there's one card art that is kind of reprint, but I think you guys kind of saw that. If you didn't, I'd check out the teaser video. But the templates have all been updated. The front and the back of the cards have both been updated. So it kind of has a crisper, cleaner look on the front, as well as the back. We did put a kind of, what do you call it? A kind of like, I don't know, it's not faded, but a gradient on the border. Again, that just kind of makes it pop a little bit more as we were going through that development phase and testing out different borders. That's the one we landed on. So yeah, everything about the cards are same essentially, but with nice upgrades to them. Cleaner text, bolder text, larger text, which is part of what the feedback that we were receiving in the sample phase. But yeah. Great questions. Part about grading. Yep, I can repeat that. So grading, we're currently, we have already submitted packages to DSG and CGC. So we're working with both of those companies right now. DSG will be ready. I believe they should be ready to take on submissions by next week. And then CGC will probably look to get initial feedback from the submission by next week or the following. So that's kind of the timeline for those two. We have talked about AGS, and then we are obviously looking at PSA and BGS as well. But you know, with the higher tier, it's a longer wait period. So contact time from initial communication to them even getting back to you, it's about a 2 to 3 month window. And then even then, they do have certain requirements for longevity of the game and other aspects. So we're going to be waiting till our full print run is completed and sent off to Kickstarter for a full submission package, so we don't have to duplicate our efforts for the larger grading companies. So that will be all inclusive of samples, test cards, and full Kickstarter run.
This is something that Aaron and I didn't get on the docket, but Aaron, I'm going to put you on the spot on this one. Can I show them the uncut sheet of the new one, since they've seen the cards?
Oh, sure.
All right, so you guys are going to get a sneak preview of the new uncut sheet for the playtesters. So here's this one. There's going to be a couple of cards, actually maybe 2 cards that you probably haven't seen. 1 card, actually. So here's this. And then we have this one as well. I know it's probably a little bit small. Let's see if I can open up the original. There we go.
And for those of you who didn't see, there's the shifter in all of his glory with the updated template.
Sheesh.
So
you'll kind of see that little that border change too.
Mm-hmm.
You're gonna dump that in Discord, right, Shane?
No, this is for you guys. Hopefully, no screenshots here.
I'm sure we'll drop it soon. But
it's going to be leaked already. But at least you guys got to see it first.
Yeah.
I've got one more question.
Yep.
Have you guys thought of gilded edges with the space theme? I think it would look really cool.
Yeah, and that's something that our current manufacturer does have the capabilities of. I don't want to speak to the future too much, but our next set is going to be different than hopefully, than most like traditional follow-up sets are.
I'm asking some bad questions.
Yeah.
Sorry.
It's not directly related to gilded sides, but I mean we have talked about it and thought about that. But yeah.
Okay. Thank you.
You said you had a follow-up question?
No, I was saying I was asking some bad questions because like remember the box talker, you're like, nope, I can't tell you that. Nope.
No, they're good questions.
No.
We'll very soon we'll release some more info on certain things, but
I appreciate it. No problem.
Yep. And who is this, by the way? Just
Noble. It's Noble.
No, okay.
I'm driving, so I
just see
can't.
Galaxy, so
Okay. I'll be Galaxy today. No problem.
okay. Any other questions?
When are we gonna see some like figurine, like action figures, like would be awesome. Shane and some kind of like 8-inch or whatever, 10-inch, 12-inch figurine or of some kind. Are we gonna see something like that soon, or like just kind of that kind of merch or different things like that?
So we actually did start discussing, what like the, I don't want to say store, like essentially like the Interstellar store is going to look like and different things that people have been requesting. The figurine aspect. So we had an initial discussion with Invasion Toys, who most of you may know or may not know, but Invasion Toys does custom things like that. So we have had an initial conversation with them. But that more than likely is looking, once that does start to become a reality, more towards, Q3, Q4 of next year.
Thanks.
Yep. Yeah. Shifter Alien Funko. Saturn Funko would be cool. All right. Any last minute questions? What is the end date for the ambassador program? So that is, it's going to be roughly 1 to 2 weeks prior to the Kickstarter launch. We will give everybody enough time not warning, but like warning, for lack of a better term, of when that end date will occur. It is still kind of a floating date, if you will, of when that Kickstarter is going to launch. So we're not locking in a specific close date, but there is still, at least until the month of December for the ambassador program to be live.
So with that, can say if you do one upgrade, or I guess you said it wasn't an upgrade, but you just send the additional charge to get to next tier level, can you do that a third time, since we got basically essentially a month and a half, maybe a little bit longer? So could you do that a third time if you want to keep going up? Do you see what I'm saying?
As long as the
For sure.
tier's available.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
As long as the tier's available, correct.
All right. Cool. Thanks.
Yep. So yeah.
And then, of course, as long as the ambassador program is still up. Remember the Kickstarter, I know Aaron touched on it. The Kickstarter is not going to be close to the same prices and discounts that you guys are going to get. So that's obviously more the favoritism that the ambassadors are going to have.
All right.
Merch like t-shirts, sweaters, card art. Yeah. Yep. So we're talking about, hats. Yeah. Everyone, including Kentucky. I love my hats. We're looking at hats, t-shirts, just traditional merchandise, but as well as we've been in discussions with Invasion Toys on what that might look like. Very preliminary discussions, but the conversations are being had.
Yep. Send them into DSG. You can finally send them in. Nerd's already on it. Look at that.
Yeah. Yeah, it should be next week, right? Or did he answer specifically? I think we're still working on details of when that'll be, but you guys Interstellar excited. Is everybody excited? The community Interstellar, Grandma?
No, just like you guys, like the owners, the creators, like there's so much positive energy going on lately and like so much happening. Just want to make sure like you guys are feeling the high too,
Oh yeah, absolutely. Yeah. So we have two times a week we have internal meetings as well. One specifically with the artists and the progression of the art, and then the other is a all hands team meeting. So absolutely, we're right there with you guys in these meetings, whether we're talking directly to you guys in these, AMA open meetings, or, in our internal meetings. So loving all the positivity throughout the streams and through your Whatnot trip, Facebook, Instagram, content creators like Kentucky, and a few other of you, Trementic. So yeah, it's been very exciting, very humbling experience, especially with C2E2 feels like just yesterday to where we are today. So it's definitely been a fun process, and we're getting ever so close to our Kickstarter launch. So yeah, absolutely. Who's that? 424?
Look at Marvin over there showing off the team sign card.
Oh, Marvin. Yeah.
Aaron?
Yes.
Marcus again. One more question before I go in the grocery store. So on the NFTs, I know in the past for other NFTs, there's rarer NFTs than others. Is that going to be the case for these NFTs as well? So let's say you happen to you pull one out of the test pack, right? Are they all going to be the same rarity, or is there going to be maybe a one of one, a couple, variations of the same ones, different colors? Like, what do you guys have in mind for that?
So the ones that are dedicated to the actual game will be that, right? So the rarity is going to be based on, the number NFT that you get. There's not going to be, a ton of NFTs in this, right? We're supplementing that further with 2,000 additional numbered cards. The NFTs will be special, very super limited from that respect. But with that being said, again, without giving too much away of what the future is, we have plans to make these NFTs even better.
Okay.
If some of you are from the NFT space, you may know what that means, but yeah, we'll just leave it at that.
I appreciate it. Thank you, Aaron.
Yep, absolutely. Plans to take over the world.
Is there going to be any kind of, I know we got NFTs right now, so is there any plan for cryptocurrency, like moving forward down the road or anything like that, like some kind of, whether it's connected to NFTs or cards or whatever or not, is there going to be some kind of cryptocurrencies that, that we can basically, an Interstellar coin essentially? Like a galaxy coin? Not currently, yeah. I mean, we haven't thrown that idea around internally, but
let's focus on closing out one trading card game first before we start branching off here. We got a big pill to swallow. We have to meet our deadlines. We got an amazing team. We have to close out the game. We have to make sure that everybody is satisfied. That's our primary goal here in the next 5 weeks. Trust me, I love the ambition, but if we started branching off too quickly and bite off more than we can chew, we're going to hear from him about that.
Yeah, I agree with that.
But I like where your head's at, Kentucky. I like where your head's at.
Thanks.
Ambassador program cutoff will probably be a week to 2 weeks before Kickstarter is launched. However, it really depends on how quickly the tiers sell out.
Samsung, yes, the NFT. So we have there's essentially two different NFTs. Well, now 3 with the release of this additional NFT, NFT that we're giving to current backers, right? So the one that's dropping next Friday, the free NFT, essentially doesn't currently have PFP relationship, meaning like it doesn't have any discounts associated with it, utility, anything like that. It is just that NFT backed by Ethereum on OpenSea, right? The NFTs that are with the actual ambassador program tiers are tied to the tiered discount. So what that means is if you look at the ambassador tiers that are available, if the tier that you're backing has an NFT, it will also have a discount associated with it. That discount is tied to the NFT holder. So if you end up selling the NFT that comes with your package, the one that's specifically designated for that package, the discount is going to go along with that. So you lose access to that utility. There are additional utility aspects that we are working on to implement with those. But currently it is tied to the actual percentage discount you will receive. And it also unlocks your Discord roles. Currently right now, since the NFTs haven't dropped yet, we've been manually adding people to the specific Discord roles on, whether it's just, the general ambassador, Void and Spacecom just launched this week. But those are kind of like your gated access keys to those different channels. And then shifting to the actual playability side, there is additional utility tied to a redeemed form of your NFT. So if you hit a shifter in the redeemed form, the NFT form will have additional gameplay benefits, as well as there's possibilities of collecting X number of NFTs that will unlock different rewards as well. So if you're an NFT holder of 5, say, NFTs, or if you collect the entire series of NFTs in the redeemed form, not the physical card, but the redeemed form, there will be certain things unlocked.
There's a couple of questions why I pulled this up. If
Sure.
you're contemplating the ambassador program versus Kickstarter, there's some huge things on the ambassador that is not going to be offered on the Kickstarter at all. One, obviously, they're not going to have any of the discounts off of future sets. If you do get the higher tier packages, you will see discounts off of future sets. They're not going to have certain types of access. Once again, it really depends on the set that you actually are getting. Same thing with like uncut sheets for every set into the future, which this is the only ones available, which I'm not going to show you the other ones too, because you're just going to get excited. But these are not going to be offered on the Kickstarter.
Correct.
Yeah.
Yep. So yeah, NFTs. So NFTs are excluded. Uncut sheets will be excluded. Further discounts into the future. So again, these are like partnership level discounts, right? So this is discounts into perpetuity. They don't go away. They're tied to the NFTs, so that the NFTs will hold additional value. If for whatever reason you do want to sell off into the future, those discounts and everything are tied to those. So that all of that is encompassed in the ambassador program. The only thing that's going to be offered in Kickstarter is product focus. Yes, Kentucky, I see your hand raised.
Are we gonna have like holiday themed sets, like, being that this is like a Earth like type theme thing? It's so, I mean, obviously we're still gonna have like I would imagine our holidays and stuff. So I can imagine like a Christmas themed card in like the space station with like the glass window and the space in the back and a Christmas tree. Are we going to see stuff like that, or are you guys going to just try to like keep it mainly just just space, like just pure space stuff, or is there going to be kind of like influences from like Earth and things like that, like holidays and stuff in space?
Sure. So the holidays, there could be, we could institute like a holiday specific promo. I think we're gearing more towards space related holidays. So maybe, a promo designated to a specific date that relates to, a certain conspiracy theory, or, at the time of a moon landing or something like that.
Oh, that's cool. Okay, I got you. That's cool. Yeah. That's
good question, though.
I was going to write it out, but I feel like I'll just be able to answer it easier. So some of the tiers have discounts, as you saw, 15% off, 20% off, 25% off, things like that. That is what we are calling a utility. That utility, that discount will actually be associated with your NFT. It will not be the custom NFT. It will actually be associated with your NFT. What I mean by custom is your artist drawn NFT.
Mhm.
So the good thing about that, if you think about it for resale purposes, is if you were trying to sell an NFT that had a 10, 15, 20% discount associated to future product for Interstellar, imagine how big that would be. So now it's kind of like a multi-tiered approach there, if you ever did for some reason want to get rid of it. However, that would be the utility that would be attached to your custom NFT based on the tier that you actually purchased.
And with that as well, because everyone's in Discord, right? So the NFT for the NFT related to certain Discord roles is also tied to that. So if you do sell it off, it will show transfer of ownership, and it will remove you from gated access to certain tiers within Discord. It won't wipe clean any of the data that you've already collected, right? So if you're in a certain tier or whatever that looks like, it won't remove your status, but it will remove your access.
Which is why those of you that are ambassadors, about the onboarding agreement that you did fill out. The onboarding agreement will have a campaign manager. That campaign manager, even if you did purchase in a group, those NFTs will be associated with that one person. So yeah, right. And if that's sold, you would lose your Discord privileges as well as the other privileges as well.
That is correct, Nerds versus Geek. It is not the custom. It will be tied. So how we're doing the remaining NFTs. So where it says Interstellar NFT versus custom NFT, the Interstellar NFTs associated with each tier are going to be different. So at every tier, you will see a different version of an NFT, and that's going to tell you and tell us what discount and what access that's granting, right? So it's going to be a different image. Obviously, all of them are going to have X number of attributes that are all going to make them unique. So all of them are going to be one of ones essentially. There's going to be rarity scales associated with the NFT. So if you're not familiar with that, basically once you assign how many attributes you want and the different possibilities that are available, depending on how often that actual attribute is used in the NFT, it's all random, right? So when it's built, we set these attributes, and then the program randomizes the attributes and associates them with that specific NFT. So there could be an NFT, or one of one NFT that's the only NFT that used that specific attribute. So yes, they are all technically the same image, but depending on how the attributes get used, you could have a rarer version of that NFT.
More importantly here, guys, for the bigger packages, because on the smaller ones, you're only going to see like a very small amount of NFTs. There's only going to be one NFT that's going to be associated with this. Only one. The other ones are for you to do with it as you please. But obviously the one will be very crystal clear saying that what you have here.
Right. So I just want to clarify one point on that. So at that tier, you will get you're guaranteed one NFT that has that level of access. So the remaining Interstellar NFTs, so you have one that is guaranteed at that specific discount level. So whatever that image is, it'll be associated with that. The remaining 3 are going to be randomized. So they're all going to be pulled from the same pool that's available. Sorry, they're the 10%, the 15%, 20%. It'll pull randomly. You could potentially get all 4 25%ers. Now they're not stackable, but the potential is there for the random the random distribution where you end up getting 4 of the 25%ers. But that's the guarantee is 1 at that level for that access.
I have a question.
Yep.
Will you guys ever be opening the ambassador program back up for people who, for whatever reason, were not able to get into it at this time?
So once the ambassador program is closed, it will be closed. So there will, not saying, there's not future plans for, other, events and things like that. But ambassadors, again, are, I appreciate the question and the concern. Yes, for the community, yes, this is at this point in time, and there will be a cutoff of when that's available.
What?
Thank you.
Of course.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I have no fucking idea. I'm just here. I'm happy to be here.
Grandma, did you have a question?
Yeah, I had one more. Aaron, to your example about like the randomness of the potential, or like the potential scenario of someone getting like 20% offers, 25% offers.
Sure.
In that case, it looked like there were 5 possible slots. Does that mean that you guys are making more than 5 NFTs that would actually have that discount associated to it? So I'm just curious how that would actually work then.
Yeah. So we're developing more in the pool that'll be available. But once that allocation is complete, any remaining NFTs that are part of that line, the ambassador line, will be burned. So we're not, they won't be available. We're not going to release them to the public or anything like that. We're building additional NFTs at every tier for that random allocation. But then once everything's allocated, we're going to burn the rest of the NFTs.
Understood. Okay, cool. Thank you.
Yep. Are you able to get tier 4 NFT if you back to tier 2? It is not. No. Yeah. So the only randomization that will occur with that second or third NFT is your tier and below. So that's the randomized pool of available NFTs that will be allocated. You can't essentially win a lottery up. It would just be at your tier and down. Okay, so I need more money. Cool. Any other questions? Still got 39 people in the room. I think we've actually continued to grow the audience as we've been live. So appreciate everybody being here. I'm not sure if I missed it, but did you say the custom NFT higher tiers receive will not have to at discount? So the discount utility won't be tied to the custom, and we don't want that to happen because now say it is the only one, it is the only NFT that is at that tier, because I think there is a scenario that the custom NFT that's the only one, then we can assign the discounts and gated access to that specific one. That's ultimately what will happen. I'm trying to remember it. Maybe there's not. Hold on, let me scroll through. I don't think there's actually is. No, there's not a scenario like that. So we don't have to worry about that. But that's what would have occurred.
Aaron.
Yep.
So I'm new to NFTs. I'm not new to crypto,
Sure.
but I guess my curiosity. So with this NFT that gives us the discount towards the Kickstarter product, is there like a QR code, discount code that we're going to put in from that NFT into the Kickstarter platform to get that discount right then?
So the discounts is for future sets. So this is still technically Kickstarter. So the discounts associated are going to be for anything that we drop in the future outside of the actual Kickstarter, right? So this is going to be for anything that we launch merch-wise. So all the play mats, merch, future sets, expansion packs, anything like that. So it's outside of the actual Kickstarter launch.
Okay, gotcha. So now if you're doing like theme decks and blister packs or whatever on Kickstarter, it's not going to be calculated for that then.
So it won't be. So I can just say this right now, but there won't be blister packs with the Kickstarter. There will be theme decks. So there's still theme decks in the ambassador program, and they're within that collection box of the void boxes. So every void box comes with theme decks, but there is an option to add them on in the Kickstarter. But again, that is going to be separated from the ambassador program.
But no, you're not getting any discount right now. It would just be after this Kickstarter set, and it would be essentially purchased from us. So this discount.
So there are discounts here though, and the discounts actually, in some instances, exceed the tiered offer of 20%, right? So if we look at a discount allocation, so when we built these packages and you look at the cost of the package versus the retail value, the only thing we considered in that process is the actual product itself. So that the players boxes, the collectors boxes, and the void boxes. So if you look at that and look at the allocated cost of these MSRP versus the MSRP, you'll look at your initial investment of 5,000. You do the calculation for what the MSRP is on the boxes. So 130 for players booster boxes, 160 for collectors, and 140 for void boxes. You can calculate out that discount and what that looks like. And in some instances, again, as you continue to grow in the tier that you backed, the discounts, again, in some instances actually exceed the discount that is being offered in the future.
Gotcha. So are you guys going to be selling the product on your website then and not through distribution?
You mean like secondary product?
So
Like
after the
future
Kickstarter,
sets?
the future sets is going to be on a website.
So future sets. So we are in talks with a distributor out of California right now. So we are setting up for distribution channels, but we will have product live on our site as well. So again, if you're an LGS and you have obviously what comes along with that, and you have access to distributors and distributor pricing, everything like that, that's still going to be at your prerogative. But again, it's not a guaranteed allocation at that point. So we will have direct to consumer with these guaranteed discounts that are offered at these tiers. So again, that's just a separate way to gain additional allocation, especially as you start to go into the higher tiers, like the 25 and 50, where it actually guarantees you available percentage of print runs. But yes, so again, to recap, we are looking at a distribution channel as well as direct to consumer on our site.
Okay, cool. Thanks, Aaron.
Yep, of course.
So the delivery date was essentially going to be real quick for the Kickstarter. Once the game is purchased, we actually plan on putting it to print. So that way, when the Kickstarter is actually ended, you guys have your product right there. Obviously, we put things in our agreement to essentially cover our butts, essentially saying that, hey, it's going to be, we're projected early Q1, but at latest, it's going to be a little bit later than that. But we're projected early Q1. That's
great. Yeah. early Q1. And then one of the questions that got asked in a private chat, I'll just bring up, I won't mention, it doesn't really matter, to be honest. There is going to be a tiered approach to the delivery of the Kickstarter product that is purchased in the ambassador program. So what that means is, depending on the tier that was backed all the way down, all the way through and through, they're going to be in tiered releases. It's going to be a very tight window, but we're going to handle the orders in that manner for distribution. So working from our top down, again, it's going to be a super tight window that occurs in, but there is still going to be that, I don't want to say delayed shipment, but again, ambassadors will 100% all be receiving packages before Kickstarter actual pledges, and we plan to start shipping during the actual Kickstarter. So people will be receiving product while the Kickstarter is actually running, which again will just help with momentum, and it will help with uncertainties with, there's certain games that, that may or may not, deliver on timeline. So again, this is just building confidence in the community that we have it, we have the game, we have it developed, and we're delivering on all of our timelines, which again, if looking at a roadmap, we've hit all of our initial roadmap goals, and we continue, and, we're striving to continue to hit every single goal that we have laid out in the future.
To be for complete transparency, because there's probably going to be some more questions about that. As far as the early delivery, we're talking about days, guys. So it's not going to be, weeks and weeks and months and anything like that. So it really depends. Obviously, the tiers who back us the most, especially the earliest, we're going to give them the product first, but this is going to be a matter of days. We just need to make sure take care of our ambassadors, and then the Kickstarter, and then the public.
Yeah.
There's two questions from Paul and Alex.
Is it a little bit higher up? Let me scroll up here. Will ambassador program tiers that have uncut sheets get the test pack uncut sheets as well? Yes. If it's guaranteed, if you have an uncut sheet from every set into the future, yes. If it just says sample and Kickstarter, no. But the tiers that are uncut sheet into the future, yes, we have those coming as well.
Really exciting.
Good
Every
question.
uncut sheet.
Yep. I think part of his question was, how do we apply NFT discounts? Is there a promo code? Okay, so great question. So we will have, we're gonna have a channel within Discord that will allow, again, it's gonna be like a gated purchase access within Discord. And then we will have a verification process on, direct from our website that we can validate you are who you say you are via, the information that's input as you check out. Obviously, we retain all the information that has been, inputted to this phase at every stage, depending on what you purchase, related to ambassador role, Discord ambassador roles, things like that. So we have matching mechanisms that we will be implementing to carry that discount, whether it's through Discord or through our site. And then what was the other one? I think that was both, right? Yeah, that was both. So, when is the cutoff for the ambassador program? The cutoff for ambassador program is about a week or two prior to the Kickstarter. It is kind of a floating date. We are projecting closer to the end of December, but without that date being 100% locked in, I'm just saying it's about a week or two prior to the Kickstarter launch right now.
For those that just joined, as far as the updates, Aaron and I will be at Denver the 15th. And then the goal is to finish the entire gameplay, everything by the end of October. By November, we want to submit to print, make sure that everything is good to go. And then December will be that Kickstarter.
Yep. And again, for anyone who's jumping in late, one last quick recap. At Denver, we will bring a portion of the vaulted sample packs. We will be bringing a portion of the vaulted promos as well. Those will be in loose form. So sealed promos will be remaining in the vault that we have left. We will be bringing loose promos. So we will have stuff at the event, including shirts, sunglasses, all, totes, swag, whatever that is. And then we are 100% receiving playmats. So playmat release and more information will be coming in this week or next. So we know they'll be in-house by next week, but we just want to get the site up and ready for you guys to receive playmats as well. So we have those, and then we are on track by at least mid-October to receive test packs, with the possibility that we'll be bringing them with us to Denver. So we're working hard with the manufacturer, not only to make sure we get them on time, obviously quality is our number one priority, but hopefully we might receive them earlier.
No promos for Denver. Yes, Ken, that is the exact reason why we want this deadline to be done by the end of October, because that's exactly what we've been talking to as far as our printer. So that's the exact reason why this is the deadline.
Yep. Yeah. So, and then one of the other things with the question about additional promos. So, from day one, we've always maintained that we're only going to be printing one set of promos. So whatever's there in the population, that's going to be it. So it's not con-specific, event-specific promos. They are a pre-Kickstarter release promo. There's only going to be 3 that are ever made, even though we've had requests to make specific ones. We just felt like, again, with the uncertainty of how many events we were actually going to this year, and the continued growth that we are seeing, that was one of the reasons we just didn't know, again, what the future held, as well as limiting the amount of product that we're releasing prior to our Kickstarter actually launching.
It's still going on track with what we've been preaching for the past like 6-7 months, even to our artists and things like that. It's not a cash grab. This is not something where we're looking to make 1,000 different promos, 1,000 different cards and sell them and just get as much money as we can. We want to complete the game. We want to have a limited print. We want people to love the product and love what we've actually done, and then keep the same model of moving forward. Now, it's not saying we're not going to, make 4 or 5 promos in the future, but this is our mentality going into it. Alex, did you have a question, or what, did we answer that one already?
Yeah, I think you guys kind of touched on that. You guys can hear me?
Yep, we can hear.
As far as like you say, you're guaranteed allocation in future sets. I mean, does this include like mini sets, or I was going to ask if promos or anything like that, special exclusive drops? So
it will be anything that is ultimately for sale. So if it's a giveaway, those will be event specific giveaways.
Right. So like, say if you guys did something, Earth Day's coming up, you're doing a special 5-card promo set. Are we guaranteed allocation for that, or is that something that we just have to have the luck of getting, like if you did an exclusive drop?
So one thing I will say is that we're always going to take care of our ambassadors. It's not explicitly written there. It's not explicitly written. And again, since promos are not something that we're going to be selling, it will always remain a giveaway. It's not going to be an even, that's the allocated amount that you'll receive, because that's more tied to purchases. But we will always, into the future, be taking care of our ambassadors one way or another.
And the allocation more as what Aaron's saying for sale, like the booster boxes, the theme decks, things like that. Not swag, not material, not promos, anything like that. And allocation, of course, is meaning you can purchase up to. You're not obviously given anything. It's you could purchase up to this amount.
Good question. Good clarification question, though.
Ken.
That's a promo card with different color parallel for each level.
I feel like there's another person in this chat that asked for a nice little sample Mothman, nice little one-on-one there.
No, I think that's it. I like where your head's at, Ken. We are planning on doing promos for ambassadors, so that's a great recommendation. Yeah, can't hurt to ask. Excited to see some gameplay. Yep. So if you guys are just joining us again, sorry, for people that have been here the whole time, but we're currently working on videos. We have short clip videos that will be a little more clean and crisp than a live discussion. So we're working on playmat. It'll be playmat view with digital versions of setting up your playmats for gameplay, different parts of the actual gameplay, whether it's the initial start, how you start your hand. There'll be shorter clipped versions that you can click and choose from to watch. And then there'll be a full version, through setting up your deck, setting up the playmat, doing your 1v1, initiating attacks, putting action cards into the battlefield, things like that. So we're currently our IT team and our graphic designers working on getting all that stuff put together digitally.
I got just a DM about it earlier because I think they must have joined late. But if you guys did want to upgrade your tier, you can as many times as you like, as long as the tier is available, and as long as the ambassador level is still open. For the free NFT, it's essentially today. So
it's next Friday.
To give the free NFT, the deadline's today. For all the backers, we did put it on today because we did receive 2 new backers today. So, but that's it. So anybody who purchases an ambassador tier today will get the obviously free NFT as long as it's tier 2 and above.
Maybe a tier 5 higher of a 1-of-1 stamp. Right. Well, if there's no more additional questions, guys, do appreciate everybody's time. Once again, everything that the community's been doing, from streamers, content creators, and again, just your time and attention you guys have been giving us tonight. Truly appreciated, and very excited to have you all along for the ride with us here at Interstellar and our beginning journey. We got a lot of good stuff that's coming up in the next couple of weeks. So we'll continue to have these meetings and discussions and information dropped here and in Discord. So if you're not part of Discord, I highly recommend, again, you don't have to be an ambassador to be in the Discord. So if you're not part of Discord or you're not in the ambassador program, feel free to jump over to Discord. We got a lot of good information, a lot of good people in there, open community to talk with about the project and everything like that. Who do we contact for upgrade tiers? You can contact Shane or myself, and then we can work on getting you updated with additional payment link and updated contracts.
I just want to say thanks for the opportunity, dudes. It means a lot.
Absolutely, appreciate you. And I love your streams, by the way.
Thanks.
Yeah.
I dropped our IG. I'm sure everybody's on our IG. If you made it to this chat, you're on our IG. If you're not on the Discord, I'd recommend it. If you wanted to get the best updates and information, it's just pretty much our Instagram or socials in our Discord. If you do have any questions, I'll put my email on there as well, if you feel more comfortable about that. And then, if for upgrades, just reach out to Aaron and I on Discord. Just a private DM will work great. We'll take care of you guys.
Yep, and we will post this video just like we posted the rest of them with subtitles and everything as well. So, all right, everyone, have a great night. See you later.
Have a good night.
Recording stopped.
Bye, guys.